The finest dirt bike racers in the world are doing battle tonight, but next weekend, a huge weekend for road racing as the MotoGP World Championship returns to the United States. Same-day coverage starts next Saturday on Speed with MotoGP qualifying from Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And on Sunday, it's round 8 of the MotoGP World Championships airing live at 5 Eastern on Fox. Finally, same-day coverage of AMA Pro Racing makes its return to Speed on Sunday night with Daytona Sport Bikes and American Superbikes. Coverage starting at midnight Eastern Time for those boys. We have 3 riders tied for the points in the MotoGP. That's going to be an epic event next weekend.
All of those races up there are incredible, and we are having it here tonight. I'm telling you, Ivan Tedesco showing these guys how it's done.
You've got to deal with so much. We talked about the elevation, and then, of course, they're racing at night. And we talked to some of these guys before we went racing about what that means, racing under the lights. Let's hear from the boys and how they adjust.
Yeah, I'm excited for the night race. You know, being a guy that loves Supercross, you know, I love being at night. It seems like the crowd is, you know, a little more intense and a little more relaxed.
It's great for the sport, the fans. It's a great show, and it seems more like a festival. You know, it seems like there's a lot going on, and that promoter does a lot of great things with the big screens around the track so that everybody can see it, and you're out of the heat and the sun. So that part's great.
Riding under the lights is difficult, I think, you know, just because it's so spread out, and, you know, you got ruts and elevation change. It kind of plays a factor in that, and, you know, for some of the riders, they struggle with it, but for the most part, you know, some of the top guys, we actually enjoy it. It makes it kind of tough, and, you know, it separates the field a lot.
Well, the riders were all fired up, apparently, about racing at night when the weekend began. But I would think guys like Grant and Reed, who maybe came in here with expectations of winning the race, they might want to change their night game. Ivan Tedesco is the one that's got it figured out.
Oh, he certainly has, and it started with a desire to make up for last week after he fell with the lead in the first moto. See the front wheel skip out on him just a little bit there, but Hot Sauce has been dialed in there. From the drop of the gate in Moto 1, you could just tell that he was grabbing a hold of this, the trophy that he's going to get here tonight if he can pull this off for this win with just a tremendous amount of desire that, okay, I proved that I can do it in High Point. I didn't get it done, but now I'm going to show everybody that I can win this thing. And with this bad moto that Reed's having running back in 8th, he's going to gain a bunch of points and put himself back into position. Now, he's lost some points this year, but wins, 25 points each win. This is how you get back into the championship. I mean, this is a great ride for Ivan. It's been a phenomenal night.
Years ago, when Ivan was in the 250 class, there were not many people predicting he would win the championship. He stayed consistent and in the hunt. And then midway through, when we came to Colorado, he busted out his first ever victory and then followed that up by winning the next round. So he would love to build that type of a streak. And guess what? After winning those 2 races, he went on to win that 250 championship in 2005. So Tedesco is trying to get back in the Wayback Machine and make it happen. And how about this? Tommy Hahn has caught Andrew Short.
Yeah, and this is what's going to make it easier, I believe, for Ivan Tedesco to pull this win out is because now Short is focused on what's going on behind him, because Tommy Hahn is just inching his way closer and closer to Andrew here and just starting to apply the pressure. Now, it's going to do one of 2 things. It can push them closer to the leader, or, you know, if it distracts them and they start having to switch up lines and, you know, Short starts thinking behind him, they're just going to drop off the pace of Tedesco, who's out front with 6.1 seconds right now, and it's climbing little by little, you know, 1/10 of a second here, half a second there, every lap.
I said, uh-oh, because as they went past the mechanics area, Hahn looked at the rear tire, looked down on his bike, but I think it's okay as he continues to put the pressure on Short. This would really be a career-best ride for Hahn. Not only to finish second, which he may or may not be able to do, but just a challenge to catch Andrew Short in Short's home race. And Short, of course, with the factory Honda equipment. So we'll see if Hahn can pull it off. And remember, we always talk about confidence in this game. Obviously, Short came into this series thinking he could win the championship. He had confidence. Hahn is just starting to build. He puts in a few more rides like this, and who knows what this kid could do.
Well, there's no doubt about it. He's got it working here tonight. And Short, who wanted so badly once, I should say. This moto is number stuff, 10 minutes plus 2 laps, getting ahead of myself, but wants so badly to win this race here in the home state for the hometown. You know, he's got a bunch of family and friends and everything up there, but He just has not been able to match the pace of Ivan Tedesco, and now he's got something else to worry about besides his teammate who's out front. He's really getting pressure from Hahn, and Hahn right now is just flawless.
You know, that has been the story.
Mistake-free.
Absolutely, and he's got Short in his clutches. Now, that's been the story on Short. He's been very consistent throughout his career, and the big question this year was, could he find that little extra burst, that little extra amount of speed to win when the opportunity presented itself? He's yet to win a race in this Premier Division. He's actually come close to the championship before through consistency. And again, every time he needs that little burst, like he needed to go after Tedesco here, he just couldn't quite summon it. This is not in any way a fault on Short. The guy trains hard, the guy rides hard. He's racing the best in the world. One of these days, he figures it out. Who knows? He can do some major damage.
I mean, he's definitely, his game plan, from my perspective, is that it's all about the consistency and not making any mistakes. I think that he's came up short on these championships because he hasn't taken those little leaps of faith, you know, and kind of a little bit more risk. And so, you know, once again here tonight, he looks great, but, you know, at this point, second is not going to be good enough to win.
Right, and Honda's win budget, buying all the big championship ads, that's going to go to Tedesco if he holds on. Stay with us on Speed.